to tell you, ask wisdom of God in every area of your life and you will receive it. You know, it is so big, it is so great, it is so huge that if you really understand and get a grasp of the wisdom of God, you are going to be fine in every area of your life, no matter what you go through. It is that important. You're going to choose a spouse, you need wisdom of God. You are going to buy a house, you need wisdom of God. You are going to change your career, you need the wisdom of God. You are going to do video editing, you need wisdom of God. You need wisdom of God, you need wisdom of God. You are going to make friends, you need wisdom of God. You have relational troubles, you need wisdom of God. Your marriage is in a rocky place, you need wisdom of God. You have some problems and you are going to speak to someone about the problems, confrontation, correction, rebuke, anything. You need wisdom of God. You're going to drive to Walmart, you need wisdom of God. This is a really one of the cornerstones, one of the major foundations of any minister, any pastor, any teacher, any child of God, any apostle, any prophet. You need the wisdom of God. And I want to tell you, this is one thing that will make you successful all your life because it covers so much. And we're going to look into that. Wisdom of God covers a lot in our lives that we do not realize. You know, the name of the book is Proverbs. It is Mishle Shlomo. The purpose and the theme of the book is in the first chapter. For gaining wisdom and instruction, for understanding, words of insight, for receiving instruction in prudent behavior, doing what is right and just and fair, for giving prudence to those who are simple, knowledge and discretion to the young. Let the wise listen and add to their learning, and let the discerning get guidance for understanding proverbs and parables, the sayings and riddles of the wise. Proverbs 1, 2 through 6. It just tells you this is why. You're going to add to your wisdom, you're going to add to your learning, and if you have wisdom, you're going to add to it. You need more of it. You know, it is wisdom to you live in a healthy lifestyle. That's why Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. we have this supernatural dream supernatural fit. Deborah Haney is leading it with Andre, doing it. Why? Because it's the wisdom of God. You need to take care of your temple. It is the wisdom of God. We need to have fellowship. Don't be isolated. Have fellowship. It's the wisdom of God. It's the wisdom of God. Enemy wants to catch you isolated. You know, my daughter and her husband brought some friends last weekend. And one young man, they brought it from where they live. And this guy was like, as soon as he came in, he became family, one of those, personalities that just fit in. Such easygoing, cool guy. Started joking with me, with my accent, making fun. I was making fun of him and everything, you know. I acted like I was offended. He got scared and all that. So immediately, instantly family. And then he had to go to the mall to get something, and then on his way in the mall when he was going, and he saw a pet store, and in the pet store he saw this dog, and immediately he purchased the dog for $3,000. And he's not a rich guy. He's not a rich guy. He makes an average income, and he's a minister. He just purchased and he wants to get married. So they didn't bring the puppy into our house. He was respectful, but he purchased the puppy. Next day, when they were leaving, they were going to stop and get. So I was a financial, consultant for a guy making an average income to say I purchased a $3,000 puppy for me. I love dogs. If you know me, I love animals, but we are not spending money on the animals, and you can tell the way that they look. So, but I am like, so I was asking him questions, then God rebuked me, and he said, it's his money, you need to stop. And I was like, so you have the ring money ready, saved up in your bank account to pay $3,000 to a dog. I was saying all kinds of, and he's a cool guy, he was joking around. But I said, unless you're a millionaire, you don't do things like that. So I was kind of giving my 2 cents to this young kid, right? I mean, do you have a car payment? He's like, yes, 5 years. I just bought the car. Do you have a mortgage? Yes, I have 30-year mortgage. And I'm like, you don't have that luxury to do things like that. But that's okay. It's his money, not my money. But I had to keep reminding myself, shut up, But wisdom of God applies to anything. When you walk with the wisdom of God, you don't make impulsive decisions with anything because you are seeking and inquiring God. Some people are I know people naturally wise people. From birth, they are wise. They grew up in families like this. There are areas I am very wise. There are areas I don't want to say I'm stupid, but I am not wise. Let's say it that way. But when you read and study this book, I want to tell you the wisdom level is going to increase in you supernaturally naturally. You're just gonna know how to act in a relationship. You're just gonna know. And there will be always situations for you to ask more wisdom. Because unless you are in heaven face to face with Jesus, you're never gonna arrive to that level of wisdom. Let's get it right? But you can increase your wisdom just by immersing into book of Proverbs. And then God always allows situations to happen so you can keep going to God and asking wisdom. Proverbs 1:7 NIV says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So it's foolish. Out in the open, wisdom calls aloud. She raises her voice in the public square. On the top of the wall, she cries out. At the city gate, she makes her speech. Wisdom is mentioned as a person. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. We know the author right away. Solomon wrote it, and there are other authors of the Proverbs, book of Proverbs that we are reading. But I just want to say a few things. I met a few years ago a multi-billionaire, a self-made billionaire. You can Google his name. His name is Lord Robert Edmiston. And this man started his first company at 11 years old. And I got the privilege to meet him at British Parliament. He was one of the very few true Christians, spirit-filled true Christians of the British Parliament. And today he has a huge organization, Christian organization that does incredible, massive work internationally. And we are partnering with him right now this year, first time. And when I met him, I was going to interview him. I interviewed him many times. In London, in New York City, in different places, and he and his wife, Lady Edmiston, down to earth, amazing people of God. Forget how wealthy they are. I got the privilege to go to their house, little palace. But I just want to tell you, this man, when I asked him during the interview, one thing was so remarkable about why he became who became. He's a self-made billionaire. But it is not the money. He says, every decision I make, I ask the Holy Spirit's wisdom. You don't find a lot of billionaires like him. He's like, I don't say yes to anything without asking God's wisdom. I mean, he just really was so impactful, my interview with him. I was completely blown away with his humility. I mean, level of humility, level of wisdom in man, he's someone that you can sit in front of him and you can talk for hours. And I say, wow, I need someone like consultant like you to help me with this. He said, do you know what my hourly rate is? And for consultation, and I don't want to throw in a number. What I remember, about 100,000 pounds, English pounds, an hour. But he said, I ask the wisdom from God, and He gives me the wisdom, and with that wisdom I can save companies, I can save corporations, I can do things. You see, God gives wisdom to people in the areas that He anointed them. You see, God gave him wisdom in business, and he uses everything God has given to him for God's kingdom. And he is so humble to not to say, I am a self-made this and that. Every decision still, he asks God's wisdom. You see, there's humility in asking in every area God's wisdom. Hebrew wisdom is art of success and meaning of life. There is a personification. Wisdom is a person. It is a poetic book. It teaches us how to love and how to fight the enemy. Number one, wisdom is personalized. Wisdom cries aloud in the street. You see, wisdom cries aloud in the street. In the market, she raises her voice. At the head of the noisy street, she cries out. At the entrance of the city gates, she speaks. How long, O simple ones, will you love being simple? How long will scoffers delight in their scoffing and fools hate knowledge? If you turn at my reproof, behold, I will pour out my spirit to you. I will make my words known to you. Then understanding is personalized. Does not wisdom call? Does not understanding raise her voice? Understanding is raising her voice. And then I want to go to the next one, understanding personalized. For my mouth will utter truth. Wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are righteous. There is nothing twisted or crooked in them. They are all straight to him who understands, and right to those who find knowledge. Then we see, number 3, foolishness is personalized. Chapter 6, folly and adulterous woman are identified as the same person. And then this is such a powerful book. We are learning about God. We are learning about wisdom. We are learning about making decisions. We are learning about enemy. We are learning about simple-mindedness. We are learning so much from this book that is going to, I want to tell you something. I mean, make it your business next 3 weeks, non-stop listen in the audio Bible, book of Proverbs. Read book of Proverbs. Highlight the Proverbs that speak to you. Just make it your business, and you are going to see how much God is changing your mind. We talk about mind of Christ. I want to tell you, it is a part of going to the place of mind of Christ, making book of Proverbs your entire business. And another thing, another person that I know, and I received Christ at his company when I was a Muslim. And he's a wonderful man of God. He and his wife, they teach leadership classes worldwide, all over the place, internationally, in England, Norway, Sweden. Everything they teach is from book of Proverbs, leadership. They teach leadership from book of Proverbs. And I want to tell you, at the end of May, most likely in June, I will be starting Dream Mentor for all ages. And this year, we're going to do Dream Mentor Level 2. And I am going to teach leadership from book of Proverbs. This is what we're going to do this year with Dream Mentor. We are going to learn, and you guys are going to graduate. I am planning an 8 weeks program only working on book of Proverbs and getting all the juice of leadership and how to live a wise life in your own life through book of Proverbs. According to the book of Proverbs, our enemy is simple-mindedness, our mouth, tongue, laziness, sluggard, hot-tempered, adultery, pride, gossip, foolishness, mockery, stinginess. These are the main themes that book of Proverbs focuses on. And then it gives us contrast, poverty, prosperity, life, death, wisdom, foolishness, stingy, generous, smart, stupid, humble, prideful, righteous, and wicked. And then when we continue giving contrast, a lot of wise rules to live our lives in victory, pleasing God and being successful. In other words, these are golden nuggets of God. God is giving us golden nuggets for our daily life. Important words I want to go over in the book of Proverbs. What is this? Wisdom. Çokmak. Wisdom in a good sense, skillful, wise. But primitive root to be wise in mind, word, or act. Exceeding, teaching wisdom, being wise, dealing wisely, and making wiser. And discretion, mezima, root word is zaman. Consideration, deep search to seek purpose and truth in any matter before revealing anything apart from God's wisdom. Consideration, deep search to seek purpose and truth in any matter before revealing anything apart from God's wisdom. Making a search. This is discretion. Should I speak this? Should I not speak this? Should I say this? Should I behave like this? I should not behave like this. Should I buy this? I shouldn't. This is discretion. Thinking without, you see, anything you see impulsive. And we tend to do it. And a lot of impulsive behaviors are rooted in some kind of behavior pattern or addiction. You know, sometimes I fall into that because I have tendency to take care of things right away. Because when you're a survivor, you know what I mean? When you're a survivor, take care of things. Whatever is in front of you, take care of it. But then you can make hasty decisions. When you are making hasty decisions that you whether need to go and fix that all the time or you need to just pay the consequences. Either way, you're going to waste time, energy, money, and a lot of things, emotions. So I've been through this many, many times. I learn high percentage right now to be discreet, but still I lack. Still, I want to be better in this. And especially, it's a cultural thing too. In the Middle East, just everything is just you do it, you say it. It's just however you feel, your emotions rule. So it's a cultural thing too. I have friends in the Western world, they are cool, calm, and collected. They think, before they say anything, they evaluate, they filter, all these things. And I am like, wow. But it is natural for them. But for me, I need to really seek God's wisdom for when to talk, when not to talk, when to make a decision and not to make a decision, when to put the brakes. Usually in the family, I am the gas pedal, my husband is the brakes. Okay, I am like, great idea, great vision. We are like, right away, we're going to dive in. And then he's like, oh, wait a minute. He's like, give me the details. Give me the finances. Give me the budget. Give me the thing. Oh, I am like, budget is not important. God will provide. This is not important. That will happen. God, he's like, I get it. I am a man of faith. I am a person of faith too, But he's going to see things from a different dimension. So we complete each other. When I am ready to put 120 miles an hour, he is like, no, here are the brakes. And sometimes you feel like you are restrained. But then when you look back many times and you say, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I'm glad that I didn't do it. I'm glad that I didn't jump into certain partnerships because of my husband. I'm so glad. I'm in a couple of partnerships as he said, no, I'm not feeling a release. And unity is very important in a marriage to make a decision. And some partnerships that we could get into those ministries got scandals and incredible problems that they could bring us down. I'm so glad that he put the brakes. So you always need that kind of person with you that you can seek counsel. Prudent, another word, oram, shows carefulness and seriousness before speech and actions to ensure alignment with wisdom, integrity, and insight. displays high emotional intelligence and maturity in different circumstances by not giving into weaknesses or emotions. Prudent. How many people want to be prudent here? We all want to be prudent. Shows carefulness, seriousness before speech and actions. Those are the people, they don't get in trouble as much as we get in trouble. Have you never said, oh, my big mouth? Well, there's a saying in America, right? Put your foot in your mouth. Yeah. Can someone do that here for me? Sometimes I tell my husband, can you help me to put my foot in my mouth? It's very hard for me to do it. But you really have a restraint and you wait on God. And by the way, wisdom doesn't mean that you always wait. Wisdom doesn't mean that you always are quiet. Wisdom doesn't mean that you don't. No, wisdom tells you when to speak, when not to speak. So it doesn't mean that every quiet person that they never speak, they are introvert and they are timid, are the wisest people. And I want to say another thing. Emotional intelligence doesn't mean that you have a poker face. That is not emotional intelligence. It is just being dead. No, that's not emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence doesn't mean you don't show feelings, you don't cry. That's not emotional intelligence. It's emotional stupidity. No, we all have emotions. Some people allow their emotions to be manifested. Some people cry only inside. It is manifested only inside. So you need to know when to release those emotions and articulate that emotions. Those are wisdom. They are part of wisdom. Prudence. And then simple. Petty. And it is not petty that we know, but it is, look at this. Look at the correlation here. Simple, petty. Plain, doesn't think deep with God's discernment. Open-minded. Root word pata, easily deceived or persuaded, believes in anything, wide open to every idea, thought, information, and philosophy. We see these people on the social media. They see something, they believe it. They hear something on the media, news, they believe it. This is what has been happening in this country. People are believing how media has been brainwashing them. Why? Because people are simple-minded and they are becoming more simple-minded. Whatever other person says, they believe. This is okay. Oh, okay. They say this okay. That's okay. Oh, this, they say this one is okay. This lifestyle is okay. Being this is okay. Being that is okay. Everything is okay. That is simple-minded, wide open to every idea. And when you are not, because you are walking with the wisdom of God, they call you narrow-minded. They call you, they are like, what is the matter with you? You are a single girl and I am a single guy, There's nothing wrong for us to be together in any form or shape, or you can be this, I can be this. That is simple-mindedness. They believe in anything. You look at so many people on social media, they believe in Jesus, they believe in New Age, they believe in this, they believe in that. Oh, this is wide open. There's one way to heaven, million ways to hell. There's one way to heaven. That is absolute truth. And when you tell this to people, even they are simple-minded, they don't believe that. Because they believe in all the ways are. And that is the problem. Then they wonder why I am under a demonic attack. Because those million ways to hell that is open in you, you are wide open. You are wide open to the demonic forces. You are wide open to the enemy. You are wide open. You don't have a standard. Wisdom of God creates and gives you a standard. My thoughts are higher than your thoughts. My ways are higher than your ways. And the moment that enemy says otherwise, you are being in a deceived place. Foolish, stupid nonsense. Evilly, easily trapped, reacting, impulsive, and quarrelsome, argumentative. despises counsel and correction, mocks and lacks respect, fully. Haughty, gobar, highly arrogant and self-exalted, who is looking down on others. Highly, thinking too highly about himself or herself. You know, years ago, I have a very dear friend, and thank God, after what I said to her, she's still my friend. We were in a restaurant, and we were sitting, and very, very close friend. And then this young group of people came into the restaurant. Obviously, they weren't saved. And just by their T-shirts and, Darwin signs and everything, you could just say that. How do you know? Just you know. And so when they were sitting, and my friend, immediately she started just having this look on them, this disgusted look on her face. But it was a very, very difficult place for me at that moment. Even as a believer, even with the strong principles and strong, high standards, it was very difficult for me to look at her the way that she was looking at them, as they were disgusting aliens or something. Okay? So you got to know the difference of being godly and having a haughty eyes on people. And the way that she looked at them, she looked down on them. And with certain way of judgment. Okay? And immediately I told her, I said, haughty eyes. She said, excuse me? And we are having this girl time, right? Once in a while, then we could get together. And I said, you have haughty eyes. She said, what do you mean by that? We really are very free with each other. We can tell each other, even right now, more free. But I said, you have haughty eyes. I just saw the way that you are looking at these people. And you and I were worse than them before Jesus. By grace of God, we are here, who we are. But these are 17, 18-year-old. It took me, I was 28 when I got saved, and I was still a big basket case and a mess. And I said, you are looking down on these kids. You don't know who they are going to be. What prophets and apostles. You see, we see people where they are, but God sees them what they are going to be. We see people where they are at, but He knows what they are going to be. And that was haughty eyes looking down on people. And you're going to watch that critical eyes. Because I always say, suspicion is not discernment. Judgment is not discernment. It is not